Today we're talking about underused features in GEMpos. This is actually a part 2. We did our part 1 in November. If you were not able to join us for that one, we do have a recording available on our website. So just go onto our website, go under the events page, and you'll see our past recordings there. Feel free to share them, rewatch them if you'd like to. In terms of how these are structured, we have about 30-35 minutes of content, and then we reserve some time at the end for questions. Really, today will be a shorter one, simply because in terms of like product overviews, we generally try to do some high level, topics. And so we are not going to go too much in depth with it. We may not use the full 30-35 minutes, but we do encourage questions. So please submit those using the questions feature. And again, we are recording this webinar to be available for on-demand viewing on our website. And then more importantly, these are really these webinars are fruitions of like the feedback that we get. So we will be sending out a post-event survey to just gather your thoughts on how these webinars are going. But more importantly, what are some topics that you are interested in that you'd like us to put on? So they can be product webinars, they can be industry topics. Let us know, and we're happy to look into that and create a webinar for you. With that said, just a little bit of a recap of our part 1. So last month we talked through some underused features of GEMpos for our customers, for admins, for retail staff. So here's kind of a list of what we went through. Gem rewards, a dashboard reporter. We talked through reservations, advanced search, sales contests. If that is of any interest to you, again, go check out our recording. However, in today, we're also continuing with the 3 different segments here of admin features, customer features, and retail staff. So for admins, we're going to talk through the alerts feature, the little bit of our GEMpos enterprise interface, which maybe you have seen already. So we'll definitely brush up a little bit on that. Well, we're going to talk a lot of barcode today. So barcode scanning, barcode receipt printing, product label printing, and then we'll also touch up on the inventory countdown and the roundup for charity. I always like speaking on this slide because really these are the folks that are going to give you the knowledge that you're looking for. So our key speakers for today are Jason and Ricky. If you've joined us in the past, they've been amazing speakers to a lot of our topics. So I'm not really going to go too much in depth with who they are, what they've done, because there's a lot to be said. If you'd like to connect, then definitely their contact information is there. But I just want to thank them and really just kind of pass this off to Jason to kick us off.
Thanks, Val. Yeah, definitely appreciate that introduction. Appreciate everybody's time today. Now, every month we take your feedback and we discuss, what features we want to go over and what features we're getting a lot of questions about. And a lot of these features, GEMpos, our products have so many features. We can spend days and days on them. I know when we're doing these initial installs on a lot of these systems, there's just too many things to absorb at one time when you're drinking from the fire hose. So we're thinking of different parts of the solution, which we great to recap, and we think you can get a lot on. So first, we're going to start off with the alerts. And now this is your dashboard, what your dashboard should look like. These are different widgets. We've gone over this in past webinars, but this is your dashboard. If you need help setting this up, please let us know. But you'll look in the drop down on the left, you'll see the alert management. Actually, we've got now on the new rollout we just did, it's actually under alerts now, but that's where you would find this feature. In alerts management, what it does is basically, I think back to a story I had where I was doing some training on in a store for a owner, and I noticed that every one of their cash sales had discounts associated with them. So obviously that cashier was making some money off that. He was discounting every single one. Well, if that owner would have had an alert to say, hey, we've had 10 discounts over the last hour, then they would have been alerted, no, we need to go and see what is going on with this cashier. So that's exactly what this does. So when you go to the alerts panel, if you click on the top left corner where you see that add button, that pulls up the alerts setup. And you can put a description in here. Like I have here, I put void alert as the description. And then if you go to the alert type, there's all these different topics you can pull from. So you can see voids, discounts, paid outs. There's even one for online orders, so you're notified if you get an online order. So you can pick from the alert type you want, and then you can go for a trigger amount. And what that is going to be is how many So that's going to be, how many of these triggers do we need before this is going to send an alert? And then when you have different types of alerts is how you want to be notified. Is that by popping up a button on the point of sale? Is that send me an email or maybe a text message or even to our team app that we have? So here I went ahead and said I want to be text anytime that my void amount gets to 10 in a certain amount, that I want it to text me and let me know that I've had this many voids so I can go and see what's going on with my business. So you can see here you can put in a start time and an end time, and then you can put in your text number. In this case, of course, email if you had it emailed, and you can put in more than one text number or email address if you want to as well. And then for the alert, I want this to go in and check. I have every 30 minutes. You can put every minute, every 10 minutes, or however often you want this to go in and check the system and see if you've got that number of triggers. Now I've got to trigger a delay right now, put in here 5 minutes in case maybe that was something that they didn't mean to do and they want to back that out. Then it gives them a little buffer time on how often it's going to delay that trigger. So that's really alerts, and you can see the different ones I have in here in the system. But that's really Alerts Manager. It's just a neat way for the system to tell you if things are going on in your business that maybe you really want to know when those happen. So next, we're going to go into briefly the new GEMpos enterprise interface. So we're always trying to make the GUI, the look and feel of our software look up to date and in line with each other. So here's a picture of what the old interface looked like. And you can see to the left panel on there that it's kind of a grayish and the font's a little bit hard to read. We updated that more with our brand. You can see the light blue images now. The fonts are actually much easier to read. And we've also updated some of the verbiage. For instance, where it says menu item setup, it used to say menu item management. It used to say alert management. Now it just says alerts. So we're trying to simplify the system as easy as possible. And that's basically it. So not a huge, facelift, but wanted to let you know that has happened if you're seeing it. So next we're going to go into barcodes. And this is something we've seen a huge push over the last year and a half of barcodes. We've all seen barcodes. We've all been in the store, probably used the self-checkout. But really with barcodes, it's just the fastest way to get people through the line. If you think about if you've been in a store and someone's getting ready to ring up an onion or something and you're rolling your eyes because they have to go find the onion and there's no barcode and it takes a long time, barcode definitely is just the fastest way to get to the system. So again, hopefully in 2024, almost 2025, we all know what barcodes are. Of course, you just scan those barcodes and it goes in the system and you're done. So that's how easy that is, especially in self-checkouts, of course. That's where they're really being huge too. The other option you have through us, we do have an app on the phone called Gem2Go you can have. And with this, you can see on the phone app, you can actually see that barcode there. What this does is basically turns your phone's camera into a barcode scanner. So maybe in an area that you've got maybe a nurse's station or you've got a grab and go area that you really don't have the need for a full point of sale or kiosk, you can have your employees or residents actually turn their phone into a point of sale. So if I push that button and then let's say I scan a bag of chips barcode, it's going to read that barcode and ring it up. And then from the phone, they can pay for that purchase either by employee payroll deduction, resident charge, or credit card, either way. So really, really neat way to use your phone for technology. The other big push we've had, and we've been doing this for a while, but it seems just recently it's got a lot of legs, is the barcode receipt printing or barcode chip printing. And what we mean by this is think about, especially for instance, in a cafeteria, we want to get everybody, all our patrons through the line as fast as possible. And if we can barcode those, we won't have that bunching up at the cashier area. So what you can do is put different entry devices around different areas. Maybe you've got a burger station, a pizza station, or different stations like that. And the patron can go ahead and put their order at those stations if they want to, or maybe somebody behind the lines taking that order. And then it can actually print up a barcode chit that when the food is ready, they can put on that clamshell or that bag or whatever, and give it back. So in this instance, we've got a few ways you can put in the order at the line, and then you can see it can print on a receipt, or it can print on a sticky label printer. And the other third way would be if you have a kitchen display, you can see the screen to the top left. That's a kitchen display screen. It can actually go up there on the screen. And then we're doing this in a lot of cafeterias where now when they're done cooking the food or getting the food ready, they can bump that order off the screen or say it's ready, and then it can print that chit that can then be put on the item. The other side you see here is our new order ready boards that we've introduced. And that way, if I've placed my order, I can go over and get my other items while I'm waiting, get my chips, my drink, whatever. And you can see on the board when your order is being prepared and when it's been bumped and it's ready. So then when it's ready, you can come pick up your items. You've got your other items in your hand, walk up to the self checkout or to the cashier, scan all those items, you're on your way. No more sitting there in front of the kiosk trying to punch everything in. So again, it's just the fastest way to get through the line and make sure we're not having people stand in line a long time waiting to ring up all their items. So from there, I'm going to hand it off to Ricky to talk about barcode printing. Ricky?
Thanks, Jason. For your retail staff that's going to be using tablets or using the workstations, there are also some features there that some of our customers don't realize we have. One is the product label printing. And what you can do here is you can print labels for your items that do not have UPC codes, meaning that the bag of Fritos that Jason referred to had a UPC code from the manufacturer, but your food service may be producing salads, desserts, sides that are in a clamshell or in a package that they're creating themselves or yourself, and you need to print a barcode label to allow faster throughput through your payment area, whether it be on a kiosk or workstation or tablet. So here we have a key lime pie that's going to be in a clamshell, and you can set it up to where if you're going to have 12 orders of key lime pie or 12 pieces of key lime pie for sale, you can print 12 of those labels from your system and then put those on the clamshell itself or on the package. With this, you can just create your own item codes, and it follows that item. So when you reproduce them 4 weeks from now, you can print those labels again. Also, there's an inventory countdown. This is normally used for table service or whenever you're filling orders from your workstation or kiosk. What this is you don't have to have inventory. It's just a countdown to let you know how many items you have. And what happens is you go to the terminal. This can be done from the front of the house. So a manager or whoever has authority can just go into other options, and then they would choose to do a countdown for certain items. And if we choose that button, we can see what category we're looking for. We just find that item that we're wanting to put a countdown on. And here we found in entrees, it's rigatoni. I know as a manager, we have 10 orders left. And so I put that on the register there, and it's going to add that to the item to just know we're going to be out after 10. We only have 10 orders left. Now, once that depletes, as each one's ordered, if you order it right here, it depletes it automatically. If it's returned to stock, let's say the canceled sale, it would go back to 10. If the sale is finalized, it leaves it at 9, and then it counts down. And then once you're depleted, that item can no longer be selected. And that lets the person ordering the item, if it's on the kiosk, it would be the customer. If it's on the workstation or tablet, it would be on the server or the cashier. And then that way they know that it's out and you can't select it. The last feature is a Roundup for Charity feature. We've been asked about this, and so it was put in our webinar today because a lot of customers are wanting to round up for charity. So if we're probably all aware of it, like this particular order is 1584. If we round this up to the next dollar, it would be at $16, and then that 16 cents can be given to a charity or collected for funds. This is used in a lot of programs within healthcare, which would be like UNICEF or Toys for Tots, or the auxiliary that are in gift shops. The auxiliary that runs them uses that too for charities that they promote. And these are easily set up in the back of the house. You can set up this. This was the setup for our demonstration, but you can also set it up for multiple charities or multiple roundups that you want to keep for the future, and just put those on there without having to reprogram it every time. And you can have multiple charities at once as well if you wanted to do something like that, to where each button would be a certain charity. And I'm calling them charities, but it could be for multiple buckets of that. So it could go for a hospital fund, or maybe a community fund within senior living. And back to you, Pam.
Thank you so much, Ricky. Thank you, Jason. So again, today really was a short and sweet product overview of some of these underused features. If you are already using them, that's amazing. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about them, please, you're welcome to schedule a demo with our sales team to have a more in-depth conversation about how to utilize these features in your organization. And then I just like to share some closing remarks here, just a reminder of some of the resources we have available for you. One being our knowledge base. This is an online repository of helpful articles. You can go to this through our website. It really is, full of how-to articles, some release notes, things that you may want to do some reading on if you have, a few minutes to just want to learn about our products. And so feel free to, check that out. If you have technical, issues or challenges that you'd like for our team to look into, then definitely reach out to our customer support team. We also have, again, our sales team. So you can reach out to your ARM. You can reach out to Ricky and Jason if you, again, need some support in terms of like product questions or a demo, or just want to kind of take a look at your, your organization and your account. In terms of how can we make things better for you, a couple ways that we're doing that is you may have recently been seeing our emails about our customer surveys. I think one just went out yesterday. So really, this is to gather your feedback on areas of our business that we can do better on. We definitely want to make sure that we continue to meet your expectations. So in terms of like product, in terms of our service, please let us know how we're doing. And so we'll continue to send those out, next year as well. For the ones that have completed those, thank you so much. Your feedback is super valuable. For the ones that are still kind of pending, please feel free to look in your email and just submit your questions, or your answers back to us. And then for the webinars specifically, again, I'll be sending out a post-event survey to just gather your thoughts. I know that this was specifically on GEMpos, and we've done a lot of GEMpos, but that doesn't mean that's the product that we'll have webinars on specifically. So in the future, we'll definitely do some, product webinars on things like RDS. We've mentioned Gem to Go. We have a bunch of other products that I know you guys are super interested in learning more about. So let us know what it is that specifically you'd like us to brush up on. And then really just some last words here is thank you. We truly are grateful for your partnership. We're thankful that you have chosen us to be your food service solution provider. With it being the end of the year, we definitely want to take a moment, but throughout the year, we want to be more cognizant of thanking you guys for the partnership. So with that said, thank you so much for joining us on this webinar. I do just want to reserve some time at the end here for some questions. So let's go ahead and kind of take a moment to look through what you guys have submitted. All right, so Ricky and Jason, if any of the questions pertain to something that you can answer, feel free to chime in. All right, so this one We kind of mentioned this in our last webinar. Someone's asking in terms of just these features, are they built into the system? Are they additional costs? Is that something you guys can shine some light on?
They're both like we were talking about, like some of the products, the product labeling to where we could put EPC codes on the products. It's built into the system. You can use it. If you have GEMpos, you can do that. You would need a printer that would do the labels. That would be the thing you may need to add. But I know from the last webinar, we were talking about my rewards, my GEM rewards that allow you to do rewards on purchases, for giving points or dollars for purchases. And that there is a small fee for that. But it was one of those things that we'd been asked about. And that was the reason we were doing these webinars. We've been asked about several different things. So it was a good idea to do this.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then in terms of implementation, if they're interested in implementing this, who would they reach out to?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, just reach out to your sales rep, your ARM, me and Ricky. Just reach out to one of us. Reach out to support if you don't know who that is, and we can definitely get you in the front of the right person to talk more about this.
Perfect. Thank you. And then this is kind of my own question. I always like to ask questions at the end here too. So I know you guys talked a lot about 3 different ways to do barcode, printing or whatnot. What's kind of the fastest way out of those 3 options to for an organization to implement to get people through the line? I think one option was you order and then, you obviously the kitchen makes it. I think in Ricky's case, you talked about it being available already, right? If you just pre-labeled. So that sounds to me like that's the fastest way.
Absolutely.
I don't know if other organizations, are kind of wondering how to do that. Perfect.
Yeah, with a lot of places that we've been, they have a grill that you order what you want from the grill. Like you'll have other items, you can go through the tray line or in the cafeteria to get whatever's being served that day. But also hamburgers, chicken sandwiches, things are served every day from the grill. You just have to order them. A lot of times you tell the cook or the preparer to say, hey, I need a chicken sandwich, no lettuce or whatever it may be. And sometimes there's a pencil and a piece of paper to write down your order, put your name on it, hand it in, and then you go and do your stuff and you just wait for your name to be called. The things that we spoke about today with the labeling, it makes it a lot faster. The kiosk that Jason was showing can be set up to where you can order from a specific area and then have that chit that has your barcode on it. And then you can do it from multiple areas and then take it to the cashier to tally it or to put it under one order. You can also just put a kiosk in front of the grill area, go order your item, take that chit with you, go and do whatever, and then go and pay for your whole meal and your drinks and whatever you picked up. And then look at that order ready board for your order to be ready. And that way the order would be ready. You would know when your order is ready and you're not having to wait around in the cafeteria. You can pick it up in a little area that's to the side, or it may be an easier way to do that. So it just depends on your setup as to what's easier.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. So I hope that maybe that is a takeaway for some of the folks here is there are multiple ways to use barcodes. So I hope that's kind of a takeaway out of this. But thank you, Ricky and Jason, for sharing your knowledge and your expertise. And thank you, everyone, for joining us and spending some time with us. So with that said, let's end the call early, and you can always check out the recording on our website. So thank you, everyone.